No one noticed the young caregiver quietly humming beside the frail old man as sunlight streamed through the nursing home's garden windows. The melody was soft enough to disappear beneath the sound of birds outside, yet it brought tears to the old man's eyes for the first time in months. Hidden behind the doorway, a sharply dressed visitor froze in silence. He was the old man's millionaire son, and what he witnessed over the next few minutes would forever change two lives. Before this emotional journey begins, if you believe kindness, forgiveness, hope, and second chances still exist, please like this video, leave a heartfelt comment, share it with someone who needs encouragement today, and subscribe to our channel so our family and our community can continue growing through stories that remind us compassion is never wasted. Elena Whitmore had worked as a caregiver for nearly 6 years. Every morning she greeted each resident with genuine warmth, remembering their favorite songs, their birthdays, and even the little stories they repeated because memory had become difficult. She wasn't paid much, but she believed every elderly person deserved to feel seen and loved. After losing both of her parents before turning 25, she understood what loneliness sounded like, even when no words were spoken. One resident held a special place in her heart. Theodore Brooks rarely spoke anymore. Once an accomplished carpenter, age and illness had stolen much of his memory. Many visitors assumed he no longer recognized anyone. Most days he simply stared through the garden window while holding a faded photograph of his late wife. Elena refused to believe his spirit had disappeared. Every afternoon during her break, she sat beside him beneath the warm sunshine in the courtyard and softly sang old songs she remembered from her grandmother. She wasn't trying to entertain anyone. She simply noticed Theodore's fingers gently tapping the chair whenever music filled the air. Sometimes he even smiled. Unknown to Elena, Theodore's only son, Nathaniel Brooks, had arrived that afternoon after postponing visits for nearly a year. Building a successful investment company had consumed his life. He convinced himself expensive care could replace his presence, but standing unnoticed behind the garden entrance, he watched a stranger give his father something money had never been able to buy. Peace. Nathaniel expected professionalism. Instead, he witnessed genuine love. When Elena finished singing, she carefully brushed a leaf from Theodore's shoulder and continued reading aloud from an old adventure novel because she believed familiar voices comforted people even when memories faded. Nathaniel quietly walked away before anyone noticed him. For the rest of the afternoon, he couldn't concentrate. Business meetings suddenly felt meaningless compared to the image of his father smiling beneath the sunlight while listening to a simple song. The following morning, Nathaniel returned early. Instead of introducing himself immediately, he observed the caregivers. Some rushed from room to room, exhausted by impossible workloads. Elena worked just as hard as everyone else, yet she somehow found time to hold trembling hands, straighten family photographs, and encourage frightened residents with quiet reassurance. She never performed kindness when people were watching. She lived it. Later that afternoon, Nathaniel finally introduced himself. Elena immediately apologized, fearing she had broken professional rules by singing during her break. She expected criticism. Instead, Nathaniel thanked her. He admitted he had forgotten what his father's smile looked like until the previous day. His words humbled Elena, who insisted she had done nothing extraordinary. Nathaniel disagreed. He realized extraordinary people often believed their greatest acts were ordinary because compassion had become part of who they were. Over the following weeks, Nathaniel began visiting every afternoon instead of once every few months. Elena gently encouraged him to read old letters to his father and tell childhood stories. Although Theodore rarely answered, his eyes brightened whenever Nathaniel spoke about fishing trips, family picnics, and the workshop where they had built birdhouses together. Little by little, a broken relationship began healing. One sunny afternoon, Theodore squeezed his son's hand and quietly whispered his name for the first time in almost 2 years. Nathaniel couldn't stop crying. He understood that the moment wasn't a miracle created by medicine. It was the result of countless ordinary acts of patience, kindness, and unconditional care. Deeply moved, Nathaniel donated enough money to renovate the nursing home's aging facilities, create a music therapy program, improve staff salaries, and provide additional caregivers so every resident could receive more personal attention. When reporters asked why he had made such a generous contribution, Nathaniel surprised everyone. He didn't speak about wealth. He didn't speak about business. He spoke about one caregiver who believed an old man still deserved songs, conversations, and dignity even when nobody seemed to notice. Elena never expected recognition. Seeing residents smile remained her greatest reward. Months later, the garden looked brighter than ever. Fresh flowers bloomed along new walking paths, musicians visited every weekend, and families spent more time with loved ones because the home had become filled with warmth instead of quiet loneliness. Theodore's health continued to decline naturally with age, but he spent his remaining months surrounded by music, laughter, and his son's presence rather than silence and regret. Nathaniel often said the greatest investment he ever made wasn't in a company. It was investing time in the father who had spent his entire life investing in him. Before this story reaches its heartfelt conclusion, we'd love to hear from you. Please leave a meaningful comment telling us whether you believe the greatest gift we can give someone is our time, our kindness, or simply our presence. As another peaceful afternoon filled the garden with golden sunlight and gentle music, Elena realized she had never changed lives through grand gestures. She had simply chosen compassion every single day. Nathaniel discovered success meant very little if it couldn't be shared with the people who mattered most. Theodore reminded everyone that even when memories begin to fade, love still finds its way to the heart. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, leave a meaningful comment, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to our channel so you never miss another emotional journey. May we never underestimate the quiet power of kindness, because sometimes a single song sung with love can echo through generations and transform far more lives than we ever imagined.